into 2010. Let's bring in James DeGeorgia. He's author of The Trader's Great Gold Rush, and Kevin Kerr, president of Kerr Trading International, as you take a look at nice cover. All right, Kevin, let's start with you. Here we are. We're up 25%. Is there more to go in gold in 2010?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The Senate just gave us 871 billion more reasons to buy some gold. The more the excess printing of money, the issuing of treasuries, this is going to continue into 2010. And while we've gotten some decent numbers here at the end of the year, saw some unwinding of this huge rally in gold and the big drop off in the dollar, that trend will continue well into 2010 and beyond. James, do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I expect gold to hit $1,500 in this coming year. I did predict $1,200 when it was trading at $700 and change in July. And I think he makes an excellent point. But I'd add to that the supply-demand fundamentals are also very important. We know about peak gold. We're actually facing what I would call peak oil. We're at peak gold right now in production.
Well, of course, I've heard about peak oil now for a decade, and in fact, it always seems that they're finding new ways to find oil or some derivative thereof. Do you really buy into the fact that we're near what you term peak gold?
Well, the numbers are undeniable. We've tripled our investment in gold exploration in the past decade, and yet gold discoveries are down 90%. And when you look at gold production itself, it's dramatically lower, 19% lower, despite all the spending. You look at South Africa, which contributed 74% of gold production to the world, is now down to 19%. And when you look at the countries that produce gold, Canada, South Africa, the United States, and Australia, production's way, way, way down. This is a good year to pay attention to this peak gold concept and to start looking at junior gold mining companies and smaller mining companies that have properties that are rich in gold that the majors will grab because they're just not finding the gold.
Kevin, call me cynical, or maybe I've just been doing this too long, but when I hear things like peak gold and I hear unanimity, at least in viewpoint of the two of you, I tend to think, all right, what could go wrong here? Because it probably will. So what would challenge your thesis that we're going to see higher prices in 2010?
Well, look, just to address the story of peak gold or peak oil, when we talk about that, we're not saying we're going to shut off the tap on oil tomorrow. As you point out, we're still finding new strains of oil. The question is, and the same for mining, the question is, how much is it going to cost? How easy is it to get to? These costs are going to be reflected in that retail gold price at the end of the day. Besides that, we have central bank demand. We have China at 2% in gold, when really the average is about 10%. So even a small shift in buying could drive that back up. I mean, 4% gold China would drive it up.
Well, I would hope that you have at least some downside scenario here that you're playing against. So what is
it? If we see a continued strength in the dollar, if we were to see a reversal in the economy and the dollar strengthen, we would see some of that fear premium come out of gold. You could see gold shift and go back down if we have a stable economy, which we just don't have, and I don't foresee happening anytime soon.
James, those who say it's just a bubble, it's just another asset bubble, what do you say to that?
No, the bubble is the massive printing of money in this country and the greed and avarice and stupidity of our politicians. Frankly, I've never seen so many bright analysts and intelligent people just buying into the Kool-Aid that's being served there. Listen, this health care bill alone, you're going to take those assumptions that they're making, that the budgets aren't going to be more than they're expecting, that no subsequent Congress is going to change. Listen, it's a feeding frenzy. We have a corrupt Senate, we have a corrupt system, and what's happening is that we're printing money in order to support it, to re-elect these people, and we're doing it on a scale that's never been seen before. And at the same time, I hear what Mr. Kerr is saying, that, hey, that could happen. The dollar could strengthen and the economy can improve. My thesis is that you could also see the economy improve. You could see the stock market move to 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, and still see gold move to 1,500. And then in later years, down the road in this decade, see it at 2,500 and even 5,000.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're right on that, you're certainly going to be a best-selling author. James DeGeorgia, thank you. Kevin Kerr, thanks to you as well.